Dr. Knapp, and it's interesting that from one state to another, one state can do so well, and another state can do quite poorly.
Yeah, so this is another reason why we shouldn't just all assume that we all live in hurricane-prone states, so we must have strong building codes. The laws must be enforcing that every home has to be built to the same high standard. It's just not the case. Every state is different, and even individual cities within states are different. So what we're doing here is want to compare a couple states that are on the East Coast, Mid-Atlantic to Northeast, Virginia and New York. You'd think, well, they've got similar hurricane risk. You know, it's not like Gulf of Mexico, it's not like Southeast. But how do Virginia and New York rank? Well, congratulations to Virginia. They are the #1 ranked state with the highest score ever given in this rating the states with regard to building code strength, with regard to the wind risk. So Virginia, like Florida, has really strong building codes. They enforce them, and they do all of the training to keep the code officials and the contractors ready to do the right thing. So Virginia is really doing it well.
It's interesting. So you can have great building codes, but if the contractors aren't doing it and the enforcers aren't enforcing it, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, that's right. And so that's one issue that we'll talk about in New York here in a little bit. But look at how consistent, like Florida, Virginia has been. And so what this means is that the state is not resting on its laurels. It's not just leaving the laws the same every year. They update their building codes to keep up with the times, which is important, as we've talked about, because building materials change, building practices change, and if the laws don't keep up with those things, then we could start having buildings that aren't built as strong as they need to be and train the people to enforce those. So Virginia is updating their building codes, and in some ways they're even stronger than what the international standard would be. And again, they are higher than any state has ever been. So you think now Virginia is not known to be the highest risk state, but you've got areas like the Hampton Roads region. I mean, they're very vulnerable, and if we have another hurricane like 1933, in the return of something like Isabel, they got to be ready.